What's up, guys? Welcome to Among the Fence, where I do music reviews on albums and EPs and basically everything in between. I am your lovely assistant, Aaron, and if you have anything you want me to review, go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what it is. We'll throw it up on the whiteboard and we will get you squared away hopefully soon. But until then, we're going to be talking about the new EP, Rolling with the Punches, by the band Brooklane. Brooklane is a pop punk band from North Dakota. I'm not really sure when they started. This is their only EP, and they have one other single that came out in 2020 sometime. So I'm assuming that they've been around since maybe 2019 at least. So they are a fresh, right out of the box band, don't have a single album out or anything like that at all. And it's kind of interesting because looking at pictures of them on Instagram and watching some of their videos on YouTube, they do seem like they're quite a bit older than just a brand new band of like a couple like 20-year-old kids that are just starting or something. Speaking of being old, the opening track on this EP, Growing Older, has tons of newfound glory, like influences specifically in the intro. The verse has some like awesome melodies and the chorus is extremely catchy. The vocals are fantastic and they just have tons of confidence in them. Like when he starts singing, it's just he just grabs you by the shirt and just demands your attention, which is absolutely great. And there's different chantings in the song, which sounds fantastic. But the main thing that really caught me was the lyrical content. It just seems so much more mature for a pop punk band, especially a newer pop punk band, because I find that a lot of these bands in the pop punk genre, either if they've been around for a long time, they have a hard time growing with their music, or if they're brand new, they're still singing about the girl that they had a crush on when they were 17. And I find like specifically like bands like Blink 182, they have 4 albums where they're in their mid 20s and they're still singing about 7th grade. It's just very adolescent stuff. And because Brooke Lane kind of skipped that this just section of their life, and now they're singing about things that are more relevant to them as they are older. Me being older myself, it made it a little bit more relatable throughout this entire EP and made it 10 times more enjoyable than what I was expecting it to be. The second song, Bite the Bullet, featuring We Set Sail, switches the bounciness and the melody. This time the bounciness is more in the verse and the melody is more in the chorus, specifically the post-chorus. And again, I just love the lyrics in this song. And it ties in beautifully with getting older because it's about how we're not getting any younger. We got to bite the bullet and we should just do what we got to do and stop wasting time. At least that's what I got from it. And the outro has this really, just the whole song actually is very atmospherically emotional. The song Shipwreck starts out with a nice breakdown and it settles down and becomes kind of atmospheric, and it has tons and tons of great vocals and lyrics, which are pretty metaphorical and poetic, which I enjoy quite a bit. And I love how the song starts out like with a breakdown and then becomes slow, and then the energy just builds and builds and builds, just like the song Sucker, which starts off with high energy, and it kind of gave me like a 4 Year Strong kind of vibe, and the chorus is extremely explosive. The drums really shine through, and it's just about the realization of making mistakes. He's a sucker for messing up all the time. But also in the song Sucker, the energy just seems to constantly increase. I don't know how they do it, but they kind of start off with high energy, and then by the time it's done, it has even more energy in the songs. Then you have the more traditional pop punk songs like Crazy, which is more drum and vocal focused. It's very bouncy, super duper catchy. And then the song Anxiety, which is very relatable and catchy, so the songs kind of get stuck in your head. It's also more drum and vocal focused. And like I said, the chorus, it's going to get stuck in your head. If you're not already dealing with these things, it's probably already in your head because, like I said, anxiety is the lyrics are very straightforward and relatable to anybody who's dealing with anxiety. And the openness in the bridge sets up the last chorus very nicely, which has tons and tons and tons of power behind it. I just wish Anxiety was a little bit more musical in a sense. It's a little bit more chuggy, kind of. There's just not a whole lot of melodies going around. I enjoyed it, but for a single, I understand why they would put it out as a single, just because it's easier to digest. But at the same time, it's not quite as good musically as the other songs. And then you have the acoustic slow song on the album, Here to Stay, featuring Jason Lancaster from Mayday Parade. The vocals are great, and there's like this duet thing going on between the two vocalists, which I enjoyed quite a bit. I didn't hate it, and I wasn't bored, which I guess is saying quite a bit. And the last chorus is pretty good. And then the song Time Spent, which has like a throwback feel to it, which I suppose is pretty appropriate. That song takes a little while to get going, and it kind of works, but at the same time, it kind of just drones a little bit too much. Again, lyrics are extremely relatable about how you just shouldn't waste away your youth, and kind of reminiscing about like how I should have done this and could have done that, and I should have done these things to kind of set myself up for success in the future, I suppose. The last song on the album, Shut Out, kind of takes a turn musically, and it has a lot more of a like a rock spirit to it while still maintaining its pop punk feel. The guitar melody in the verse is absolutely sick. It's a great closer, and it has like a feeling of conclusion. It leaves you wanting more, specifically after hearing the breakdown in the final chorus. I really enjoyed this song quite a bit. I'm not sure if it was meant to be the closer. It does have quite a bit more energy, so it doesn't feel like it, but at the same time, it works really well. All in all, I would say that Brooklane is the real deal. I mean, these guys can hang with some of the top guys in their genre, and while they wear their musical influences on their sleeve, they still have a very original, fresh sound to them with fantastic musicianship. I mean, it completely blew me away. This is one of the best sounding new bands, especially in pop punk, that I've listened to in a very long time. So with all that said, I gotta give Rolling with the Punches by Brooklane a 3.9 out of 5. And while I was completely caught off guard by this EP, I wouldn't say this is anything like extremely groundbreaking, but for a first EP, I mean, this thing kicks ass. But I want to know what you guys think. Go ahead and give a couple of these songs a listen. I'm assuming a lot of you guys have even heard of this band before. So yeah, just give a couple songs I mentioned a listen and let me know what you would rate it. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a like. Please subscribe and ring the little bell icon. That way you don't miss out on any of my future reviews, especially if you leave a request for Request Wednesday. That way you don't miss out on that. I hope you guys all have a good rest of your night or day whenever you happen to be watching this. And I will talk to you guys next time.
I was just an ignorant kid relying on my parents had to save me. Years gone by, instead of running, ignoring every day. Said to